Hello everyone. So today we will understand advanced topics of data analysis. Before moving to any advanced topic, let's recap what is data analysis first. So let's go to the screen now. Okay. So what is data analysis? Data analysis is the process of inspecting, cleaning, transforming and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful informations, drawing some conclusions and supporting decision making. Okay, so when I talk about data analysis, as a data analyst, you have to understand the data, interpret the data, understand the data. What's going on in the data? Is the data following some patterns, following some trends? What are the useful information in the data lying down there? And then we have to find all this, we have to report all this, and then we have to draw some conclusions based on that particular findings. Once we understand the data and once we found what is going on in the data, we can help the companies with the decision making as well. Okay, so if I talk about data analysis, there are mainly four types of data analysis. So let's go through it one by one. So the first type of the analysis is descriptive analysis. What does it do? So we summarize and understand what has happened in the past. So if I want to understand what's going on, what was happening in the past with the data, I will do the descriptive analysis there. Now it helps us to find key questions like what happened, what were the trends, what were the patterns, and so on. If we see some of the examples of it, so the examples are monthly sales reports or calculating the traffic reports of the websites, how many users were coming to my websites, how was the churn rate, and so on. So if I'm trying to do the analysis where I'm finding what was happening in the past, it is called as descriptive analysis. Moving forward with the second part, that is nothing but my diagnostic analysis. Okay, in this we try to understand what was the cause or what was the root problem of the trends or the patterns or whatever finding we understood in the data. So for diagnostic analysis, I have to do descriptive analysis. First, we have to understand what was going on, and then we will understand why it was happening in the past. So here it helps us to understand the questions like why did it happen and what were the contributing factors? What was the key metrics affecting those trends or the patterns in the data set? Okay, if I talk about some examples, so here you can see drop in sales due to price hike. So if I am hiking up, if my price is getting hiked up and my sales is going down, so this is what I am understanding with my diagnostic analysis. Another example here is high bounce rate for mobile users. So we can understand few questions like this from the diagnostic analysis of the data set. Third one is nothing but my predictive analysis. Here we try to forecast what might happen in the future. So once we understood what was happening in the past, why did it happen in the past, now we can try to forecast the coming future. We can try to predict what will happen in the future with the help of the past data. So here it helps us to understand the key questions like what is likely to happen next. If we understood the pattern, we understood why it was happening, then we can also try to predict what will happen next. We can also see what trends were emerging. Okay, so we can understand that, yeah, this pattern or this trend might be in the future or might not be in the future. So we can understand questions like this with the help of predictive analysis. Okay, if I talk about the examples of predictive analysis, so it's nothing but sales forecasting for the next quarter. Okay, now coming to the last one, that is nothing but prescriptive analysis. Here we try to suggest some actions based on our desired outcomes. Okay, so once we understood what might happen in the future, we will try to suggest some outcomes or some actions based on that outcomes. So here we can see the questions like what should we do next? So we can answer the questions like this with the help of prescriptive analysis. We can also see how can we optimize the outcome. For example, if I predicted that my coming quarter will have a huge profit, so my goal as a company owner will be to maximize those profit. And by chance, if I am seeing a negative trend in the pattern, or negative trend or a pattern in the data, I will try to minimize it. So this all comes under my prescriptive analysis. Okay, for examples, product recommendation engines, we can see the recommendation of new products to maximize the profit. We can also route optimization for deliveries. For example, if my delivery was taking 2 days, more than 2 days, then I will try to optimize the routes so that my customers can get the orders quickly. So we can do prescriptive analysis like this with the help of data analysis here. Now let's understand the process of data analysis first. So as a data analyst, you have to follow this 8 to 9 steps every time. So whenever you are introduced with a project or you are asked to do some analysis on a data set, first thing which we do is define the problem or define the objective. What are we doing and why are we doing? We have to understand this question first. Once we understood what was the problem, what was the root cause that my manager or my client is asking me to do an analysis, we will move forward with data collection part. So we will try to collect data from different sources. It might be from databases, APIs, websites, or anywhere. Okay, so we will be collecting data from different sources and then we will try to clean the data. Since we know that the data is always the data will not always be in a cleaner format, it might be in raw format. So the third process or the third part of the process is nothing but data cleaning. We also call data cleaning as data pre-processing, so don't get confused there, guys. Okay, so data pre-processing consists of cleaning the null values, dealing with the duplicates, deleting the unnecessary columns and rows, and such on. Once my data is clean, then we will go with the fourth process, which is the most important part of our analysis, that is exploratory data analysis. So we will try to explore all possible analysis on the data set. Once I do the EDA part, then I will try to visualize the analysis or the findings which I have found in the data. So once I explore the data, once I understood the pattern, I will try to visualize them with the help of graphs and charts. Once I visualize the findings, I will try to create a dashboard or a report of that findings. Okay. After that, we have to do the storytelling part as well. And once I am done with the storytelling, we will try to help the company with the decision making part. Okay. Now, not only this is the steps, but we also have to do the monitoring and updation. So we have to monitor the strategy we created after the analysis, and we have to update if that is not working in the coming future. So this is the process of data analysis, which we always follow whenever we try to do an analysis project or anything like such. Okay. Now, what all skills do we require to cover all these parts? Now let's understand the tools, the technologies, the soft skill, the technical skill, the functional skills, and such on. So if we talk about the tools and technologies that we require to be a good proficient data analyst, so first thing is probability and statistics. So you should be good with probability, you should be good with statistics. Okay. The second part is SQL. You should be very good with the database management system and how to manipulate the data from the database. So we use structured query language, that is SQL, in the database to manipulate the data, to retrieve the data, and to collect the data from the databases. After that, we have Microsoft Excel. If we have to do a quick analysis on a smaller data set, we will use Microsoft Excel. Okay. After that, if we want to do advanced visualization of our data, we can go through the BI tools such as Power BI and Tableau. Okay. So you should be good with maths and stats. You should understand database. You should be good with advanced Excel. You should be good with either of Power BI or Tableau for your advanced visualization as well. After that, if I want to do advanced and complex analysis and complex cleaning, I have to do it in Python itself. So you should be good with one programming language, whether it is Python or R. Now, most of the data analysts now are switching to Python. So my suggestion is to understand Python, learn Python first. Now, Python libraries have made it so easier for us that we do not need to write the entire code itself. We have libraries like the libraries in school. There are plenty of books, plenty of codes written down there. We just have to go to the library. We have to select the perfect code for our analysis, and we have to drag and drop that. That's it. We just need to call out the code from the library itself, and that block of code will do the work for me. So I do not need to type the entire code myself. Okay, so we should learn the basics of Python, and then we have to learn some Python libraries like pandas, numpy, matplotlib, and seaborn. These 4 libraries are very useful for analysis. Okay, we use pandas and numpy for numerical calculation, and we use matplotlib and seaborn for visualizations of the data set. Okay. After that, you should be also good with the Power Query editor. You should know the DAX function that is used in Power BI. You should be good with data visualization. You should be good with data analysis, and also an advanced library of Python called sklearn for some predictive modeling in the data. If we talk about skills, so you should be good with database concepts. You should be good with data analysis concepts. You should be good with functions, charts and slicers, whether we talk about Excel, Power BI or Tableau. And then basically, yes, data visualization skill is very important. You should be aware about what charts to use when, how to use a chart, how to customize a chart based on the requirements and so on. So if we cover all these tools mentioned here, we can be a good proficient data analyst. Okay. Now, if we talk about the curriculum of our course, so here you can see we will start with the basics of database management system. You should be aware about how to save the data, how to manipulate the data, how to retrieve the data from a database. So once we understand how database works, how we can manipulate the data inside the database using MySQL language, after that we will move forward with the Excel part. So you can see after that we will be covering advanced Excel for data analytics and visualization. So not only analytics part is available inside Excel, but we can also do visualization in the Excel as well. So we will go with the advanced Excel. After the advanced Excel, we will go ahead with Power BI. You can see here data analytics and visualization with Power BI. So once we go through Excel, we will be creating static dashboards and reports of the data. But if we want to create a dynamic dashboard, or I want to create an advanced level dashboard with advanced level charts in the dashboard, we will try to create those dashboards in Power BI or Tableau itself. Now since we will go through Excel first, the same functions and formulas in Excel are also used in Power BI as well. Since both the tools are from Microsoft Corporation, we will be moving with Power BI first, and then we will be going with the Tableau part. Once we're done with the BI tools like Power BI and Tableau, we will move with the final part, that is nothing but my Python. So here we will be doing advanced data analytics and visualization with Python libraries. So first we will understand the fundamentals of Python, then we will be getting introduced to the libraries of Python, and then we will be learning pandas, we will be learning matplotlib, we will be learning cbon, and we will be learning numpy. So after that we will have few projects which we will be working on, real-time projects, real-time data sets, to explore and understand what all we did in the past few modules. Okay, so now we will understand the topic conditional formatting in Microsoft Advanced Excel. So conditional formatting is a special technique in Excel which is used for identifying or understanding patterns or trends in the data very quickly with the help of colorful bars, charts or icons. So now let's see it practically, how conditional formatting helps us for advanced analysis and quickly understanding any sort of pattern or the trends in the data set. Okay. Now, let's say we have a data set here. I have three categories: paper, printer, and Manila folders. And I have the month-wise sales written here. Let's say in the month of January, I sold 450 quantities of paper. In the month of February, I sold around 310 quantities of paper, and so on. And let's see, I want to understand, is there any pattern or any trend in the data set here? So what I can do, I can simply use a technique called conditional formatting in advanced Excel. So here in the home ribbon, you can see this is my conditional formatting here. If I just hover my cursor, you can read the basic description of that particular topic. So you can see it says easily spot trends and patterns in your data using bars, colors and icons to visually highlight your important values. So I can identify my top selling month or the top selling product with the help of conditional formatting quickly in the data set. So how to do it? You have to select the data first. So let's say I want to see the pattern or the trend in the paper section itself. So I'll select the entire paper. I'll select the entire paper category here. I'll go to conditional formatting, and from here I have three options. I can either use some icons to see, I can use color scales to see, or I can use data bars. Let's start with icon first. So if I go to icons, then we have directions, we have shapes, we have indicators, and then we have the rating system as well. So let's say we are starting with the direction, that is three directional icons here. So you can see there are three arrows here. Okay, if I select this, what is happening? You can see somewhere I am seeing a horizontal arrow with yellow color. I am seeing a down arrow with red color, and I'm seeing an up arrow with my green color. Now, how Excel is understanding which number should have which color or which directional arrow here. So what basically happens when I selected the entire value from January to December, I am only selecting the numbers here. Now Excel understand the numbers very perfectly. Now Excel is trying to see which number is the largest and which number is the lowest. After that, it is understanding the range and calculating the middle value or the median of the data set. Once Excel understand what is the median value, it divides the entire range into three sections. Since I have selected three arrows, the data will be divided into three sections. Now the first section will be lowest section, that will be in danger, where all the values are very less from the median and more closer to the minimum value. If I talk about the upper range will be given to the values above the median and having the maximum value. And and then we have the middle part where all the values more closer to the median will be there. So if I see 450 compared to the highest value, so what is the highest value here? So you can see 750 is the maximum value in the data set here in the first paper category, and the lowest value is nothing but 155. So my range starts from 750 to 155. Now Excel is dividing the range into three parts. The one range, so all the values till 310, you can see 310 is having a low indication here, 150 is having the low indication here, then you can see 347, 155 and 288 itself has the low indication. That shows that this 3-4 values falls under my loss category. After that we have the average category coming as 450, 440, 485 and 510. You can see 450 and 450 are repeating here. So anything between 400 to 500 is what we can say is the average value here, and anything above 500 is what it is getting the upper range here. So you can see 750 is coming with the up arrow with a green color, indicating that the sale of the paper category was good in the month of April. Also it was good in the month of September as well. So this is how we can understand that in which month my paper category was good. Okay, so this all can be done easily. We can identify the pattern, or we can identify the key highlighting parts of our data with the help of conditional formatting very quickly. Now let's do it for printer as well. So I'll select the entire printer section here. I'll go to conditional formatting, and let's say this time I'm selecting four directions or the four arrows here. So here we will be having four categories or the four parts of the entire range. The first will be highest range, one will be the lowest range in the red color, and then there will be two average ranges here, or the two average groups here. One will be above average and one will be below average. So what Excel basically does here, it divides the data in the four parts. The first part will be the highest, then we will be having the median, and above median we will be having the above average part, and so on. So here you can see for printer in the month of January there was 75 quantities sold, so it is getting into the good part. Then we have 40 which is bad, 65 above average, 50 little below average, 24 bad, and so on. So you can see for the printer category, January month and the December month sale was good. So we can quickly understand the pattern or the trend of the data using conditional formatting very quickly. Then let's go with the Manila folder this time, and if I select the data this here, if I try to select the data here, and if I go to conditional formatting again, icon sets, and let's say this time I'm having 5 arrows. So here the entire data range will be divided into 5 parts. One will be above average, one will be below average, one will be average, one will be good, and then the last one will be very bad, which will be in red color obviously. So this is how you can use icon sets. Okay, not only this arrow directions, we can have different as well. If I want to clear it, what I can do, I can go to conditional formatting, I can clear the rule from the selected cells, and then I can go again, and this time I can select the shapes. We have circle, then we have indicators with the arrows. Okay, we can have flag, we can have right wrong options like this, and then we can have ratings like this. Okay, so we can have multiple things. We can choose multiple icons from the sets to have my indication of whether the following value is important for me or not, or to understand any pattern in the data set. I hope this is clear. Now moving ahead, let's clear every conditional formatting from the entire sheet this time. And let's say I have color panels as well. We can use color shades to identify the key highlights here. So I'll go to conditional formatting. This time instead of icon sets, I will go to color scales. Going to color scales, you can see apply a color gradient to a range of cells. The color indicates where each cell value falls within that range. So if my value is good, I will have a good color shade there. So if I go here, you can see I can have this green, yellow, red color scale. Green indicating good values, red indicating bad values, and yellow indicating the average values. So if I click this, you can see my 750 and 736 values are coming in green color or the greener shade, while I talk about my 150 or 155 is in a very darker red shade. Okay, and the middle values will be in a yellowish shade. Okay, so this is how you can this is how we can use color shades or color panels to identify my important values. The last one which I want to show you guys is, let's say I'll select the Manila folder here, and let's say go to conditional formatting, and this time let's select the data bars. Now if I go, I have two options: gradient bars like this, or we have solid bars like this. So you can use any. My favorite is gradient, it looks very good to me, so I'll select this. Now what is happening, based on the value, a bar has been raised in the particular cell. So you can see the maximum value here is 210, and that is why for the value 210 you can see the entire cell is filled up with that particular bar, because that was the maximum value. And if we talk about the minimum value was 45, and the size of the bar for this cell is the lowest in the entire range of cells. So with the help of colors, with the help of icons, or with the help of data bars, we can identify our key values or key points from the data set. We have more rules, we can identify our own rules. So let's see it quickly here. So let's say we have a data set here, and I want to see all the salary, those who are greater than 50,000, let's say for an example. So for that, what I have to do, I have to select the data here. I will select the entire salary range here. I'll go to conditional formatting, and let's say top bottom rule, or we have a highlight cell rule. So I want to see all the salaries above 50,000. So here I will write 55,000, and I'll say okay. So you can see only two people are earning more than 55,000. One is Angela Martin and the another one is Michael Scott. So this is how you can use another rules of conditional formatting. We have much more. Okay, let's clear the rules here from the entire sheet. Let's select the entire salary range once again, the H column. Go to conditional formatting, and this time let's select the top one item or the top two persons with the highest salary. So I'll click on top 10 items here. I'll go here, and this time I'll select top two. Let's say I want to see top three earning persons of my company. So I'll select three. Then I have here options of changing the color. I can have it in yellow, I can have it in green. So let's have it in green, and I'll press OK. So you can see this three person here, Dwight, Angela and Michael, are the three employees with the highest salary in my company or in my data set here. So we can use multiple options from the conditional formatting. If I go here, so we have multiple rules like greater than, less than, between, equal to, text that contains, and such on. Then we have top bottom rules like top 10 items, top 10 percentage of the items, and so on. Then we have the data bars, we have the color scales, and we have the icon sets. If you want to create your own custom rule, you can do that by clicking on new rule, selecting the options from here. This will be covered in the next session. Okay, so this was all about conditional formatting. So by the help of conditional formatting, I can easily highlight my key values. Okay, so you can see we have highlighted our key values here. So with the help of conditional formatting, we can quickly understand any pattern or any trend in the data set.